Hey everyone, happy Saturday to you. I hope you're doing well. How many of you like the game of chess? I know I do. In fact, I picked up the game when I was a kid up in Alaska when I was quarantined indoors for a completely different side of nature called a blizzard and 50 below zero. So during those days, I picked up the game of chess, started playing it a lot, and next thing you know, I could beat everyone in my family with absolute ease. So I saved up my money and I was able to purchase one of those newer or early age computer chess games. And it was one of the ones back in the days, it wasn't like a software that you can play on your iPhone nowadays, your computer, or on your iPad. It was something that required me to move the pieces for it. So it's kind of, when it starts beating you, it probably feels bad when that happens. But anyway, I got this chess set and I started playing it. And it was one of those where it would flash to move and I'd move the pawn for it. It'd be, for example, pawn to bishop 3. And we would make several moves. I'm playing the game and next thing you know, it makes a bad move. And one in which I was able to take its piece and swoosh straight down. There it was, pawn to rook 5. I swooped in with my bishop and I took it. And all of a sudden the machine said, good move. And I went, well, darn right, it's a good move. I just took your pawn, buddy. And so the game continued like that. And every time I would take one of his pieces, it would just say, good move. And it wouldn't say anything else. And next thing you know, the next day I decided, well, I think I'll give you a second shot because that was a pretty easy win for me. I just kept beating this game. And therefore, the next day when I tried it, all of a sudden about halfway through the game, it took one of my pieces. And it said, good move. In other words, it complimented itself. I'm going, yeah, okay, that was a good move. Yeah, you got me on that one, buddy. And next thing you know, started taking more of my pieces, more of them. And then finally I heard from it, checkmate. And it was over. Within 2 games, the computerized chess set beat me. And I never forgot that. You know, and later in life, when I actually started to perform and started to do dog obedience training in earnest, I was like that chess set. I was brand new to the game and I had to learn. And next thing you know, I'm sitting there pulling back. Some dogs pulling me. And I remember pulling back on the leash because I didn't know anything back then. I just didn't. This was 40 years ago. Dog starts pulling me on the leash. So I pull back. The very thing I tell you guys not to do. So I pulled back. It didn't work. Bad move. So I tried something else. I tried another move. Bad move. And I kept doing this until finally, good move. Good move. And I remember that computer. It never had 1 ounce of emotion. Never was it emotional about anything. It would try a move, and if it failed, it tried another one. And every time I moved, it started learning. It started learning me. It started learning the game. And it was never emotional. And to this day, I'm so thankful for a game. Because why at that moment, when I'm pulling back, and it's not getting any better. It's just getting way worse. I remember, I could have easily just said, Bryan, you suck. You suck at training. Or better yet, you dog, you suck. You're a stupid dog. And dog training altogether is just stupid. I could have had that attitude, and who would have gone against me on that? After all, we humans, we're very emotional. And we're also logic driven. We can't stand the absence of it. So I just couldn't figure out what's happening here. But I remembered that computer game. I remember those early days of artificial intelligence. How this thing said no emotions. Emotions, I can't think. Emotions make everything foggy. They disrupt my train of thought. I'm learning. So when I make a move, and it's a bad move, I just make another one. And I keep doing this until it's a good move. And that really helped me progress through the years as a dog trainer. And it also helped me with life, period. But it was just, I learned. I'd make a move and it didn't work. So I'd make another move. It didn't work. But I wouldn't get emotional about it. I'd make another move and it finally worked. And just recently, I had a client send me a couple of videos of her training her dog, teaching it to do a downstay in her backyard. And the videos were of her doing a couple lessons and her husband doing a couple lessons. And she asked me, she said, Bryan, if you look at these videos, you'll notice that my dog is doing wonderful for my husband, not so wonderful for me. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong? So like that computer, I just looked at the videos and I studied. And then I contacted her back and I said, okay, so you tell me what you think is going on here. Why your dog is not responding to you, but responding to your husband. Keeping in mind, you've only done a couple of lessons with this dog. And she sat there for a second and thought, and then she answered me back. She goes, honestly, Bryan, I think the dog just likes my husband more than it likes me. And I think my dog would do anything for my husband. She's a daddy's girl, is what she is. So the dog just doesn't like me. And I asked her, really? Is that what you really think? Because me, I looked at your videos and here's what I saw. I noticed a difference. When your husband was working the dog was doing great for it. But when you worked the dog, there was your neighbor's dog pitching an ever-loving fit about 50 feet away. I didn't see that in your husband's videos. Were those shot at different times? And she said, yes. I go, bad move. Bad move. Why don't you try practicing this downstay in your backyard, minus the dog pitching the fit. See what you get. Because after all, this is a new dog. We're not ready for that level of distraction. She did it. Good move. It worked. And see, had she not reached out to me, I don't know where this would have gone. I mean, after all, again, she was like me all those years ago. She had never played a computerized chess set. So she approached it from an emotional standpoint. She was frustrated. And she goes, why won't the dog work for me? It does everything for my husband, so I know it clearly understands what downstay must mean. He just won't do it for me. And I get it. We're humans. And when you can't explain it, you've got to explain it somehow because we cannot stand the absence of logic. So there has to be a logical reason why the dog won't do the behavior for me. So guys, I encourage you, as you're training your dog to be that old 1970s era chess set. Yeah, you can be a little stupid in the beginning. It didn't know how to win a chess game in the beginning. I beat it easily. And here I am gloating going, I'm better than I thought I was. I just beat a computer. Yeah, I was great. Yeah, till game number 2. See, that thing just kept learning, kept trying, never got emotional, stuck with it. Bad move, bad move, bad move, good move. Until finally, again, I heard those words, checkmate. So when you're training and you can't figure it out, when your dog is not responding to you the way that you believe it should, say these words, bad move. Something's wrong. Step out of the picture emotionally and look at it like that chess set. What move am I making that's not working? Learn from it. When we train at Taming the Wild, we have the attitude wrong is actually good in the beginning. Because the dog learns bad move, bad move. And then all of a sudden it learns good move. Yeah, well done, good move. And eventually he says to Bryan, checkmate. And that's what I'm looking for. So again, I know it's your dog. I know you love your dog. I love my dogs. But when I approach the training of my own personal dogs, or I approach the training of your dog, I take my emotions out of it. They're not there. Because I can't allow them to cloud my judgment. I can't allow them to interfere with my ability to step out of the situation and try and figure out what's happening here. Because no dog does it because it doesn't like you. No dog disobeys behavior because it's doing it out of spite. Dogs don't do that. They don't respond for a myriad of reasons that I've covered over all of these videos I've done over the last, over 2 months. So approach it like artificial intelligence. And I promise you, you'll soon win the game. You will. So take it from me. I started playing those chess set games back in the 1970s. I learned a thing or two, and I also learned to apply it to my own personal life and even my professional life. Try and be more like AI. And I kind of learned a thing or two from doing 76 of these Facebook Live videos in a row. I learned a cool thing. See, if someone makes some snarky remark, or they make a mean remark and don't bring anything to the pull of meaning, just to the pull of meaning, I learned a neat little move. It's called delete, ban, checkmate. Pretty cool. Love it. See you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.